Hey G-fans, in the last few weeks we've been taking a look at the space aliens from the different Toho universes. So far we've seen the Keylocks, the Nebulans, the Simians, and now we finally come to my favorite race of aliens, the Xiliens. Originally appearing in the invasion of the Astro monster, Toho would bring back the fan favorite aliens for another run in the 50th anniversary celebration, Godzilla Final Wars. The two groups are unrelated, so let's dive in and see what they have in common and what has changed over the years. Setting up the Showa encounter, the people of Earth would discover an unknown group of radio waves that appeared to be emanating from near the planet Jupiter. To investigate, the World Space Agency would launch a mission to find the source of this signal. Once there, the astronauts would discover Planet X, which I believe is commonly mistaken for a traditional planet when it's more likely to be a moon instead of an actual planet. To back this theory up, the Criterion release of Invasion of the Astro Monsters subtitles would call the planet a satellite, which is another term for a moon. As of 1965, the release of this film, humans had already found all of the currently known planets, Pluto included, yet it would be completely plausible to me that they had not yet found all of the planet's moons at that time. The gravity on Planet X, or the moon of Jupiter, was 1/3 that of Earth, along with the pressure readings that were 1/10 of the Earth's pressure. The surface was blue and brown, a similar look to Earth, except the blue areas here are not water. Water is shown to be in extremely short supply on Planet X, and it's obviously important to the aliens, as we see them panic briefly when their method of gathering it is supposedly damaged in the King Ghidorah attack. They would come to Earth to plunder its resources, and I'd be willing to bet that water was the one they were looking for. The Xiliens would live in large subterranean structures below the surface. This was explained to the humans as a defensive measure against the attacks of King Ghidorah, but we now know that the Xiliens could control Ghidorah, like pretty much all other Toho space alien races, so this may have been done due to their planet's harsh nature or for different unknown reasons. The Showa era's Xiliens appeared to be humanoids, yet it's unknown if they were using some kind of disguise as many other Toho space aliens did. We do know that their human form was thought by them to be too pale to pass off as human, leading them to use skin tanning methods. During one such scene, it appears that one of the aliens also has some kind of bolt sticking out of his body. The Xiliens would all wear matching gray and black jumpsuits with lightweight helmet-like wraps that covered all but their faces. This also had an antenna on the top along with a receiver on each side, and their eyes were covered with a thin visor. The women of the species would all have the exact same look, as if they were clones, and it's mentioned that they are the Xilian standard for beauty. The group encountered in the Showa era is likely a military force led by a controller or commandant. This controller would lead the invasion force, but they would also have to answer to the Xilian supercomputer that rules over the entire alien race. This supercomputer is only one sign of their advanced technology, as they have mastered the ability to be able to control various kaiju with electromagnetic waves. Another scientific advancement of the Xiliens would be their UFOs. These saucers were armed with powerful laser cannons, and each one could use electromagnetic rays to be able to move large objects like Godzilla and Rodan. In fact, it's said that these ships are capable of moving mass of any size through space with ease, making me wonder if this tech is also responsible for the ship's own propulsion systems. Either way, the craft would travel at about 1/10 the speed of light, and their technicians were working on actual light speed travel. When the astronauts needed to return to Earth, the aliens were able to easily build a replica of their P-1 spaceship, one that was said to be superior to its original. The downfall of the Showa Xilian invasion force was their weakness to either any loud sound or the annoying one from the film in particular. It would be used to bring them and their UFO craft down at the film's climax. Here we would even see some of the crew blowing themselves up, saying that they will escape into the unknown future. Interestingly enough, after the invasion, the humans would attempt to remain in contact with the Xiliens back on Planet X by sending Glenn and Fuji there as diplomats. I'd also note that the Xiliens are the only Toho aliens to come from within our own solar system, and it would be the only time that humans would visit the home of any of the other space aliens. Now that we know more about the Showa Xiliens, let's fast forward to their second appearance in the Millennium era. Just remember that these guys share no relation to the Showa Xiliens. It's two completely different universes, each with their own Earth and their own Godzilla. This modern take on the Xilien aliens would actually go by a different name, but their true name is said to be too hard for humans to pronounce, leading to the Xiliens name. These aliens, like their predecessors, were also of humanoid form, yet here it was clearly a disguise, a suit that the real aliens would wear. When trying to appear as humans, they would wear blue and black or all black outfits, and X would even wear a visor like the original Showa Xiliens. This covering appeared to be a perfect match for humans except for one small flaw: they couldn't blink while wearing it, giving the ruse away. While the suits would look mostly passable on Earth, underneath the suit was an entirely different story. Here they look like silvery, humanoid fish-like creatures with no eyes and black veins covering their bodies. This invasion force would be massive in size and would be led by a commander, that is, until the controller would perform mutiny, killing his own leader and taking over the mission. The previous commander was calm and collected, choosing the slow approach to invasion by trying to gain the humans' trust, whereas X, the controller, simply wanted to kill and enslave the people of Earth, seeing the humans as cattle lined up for the slaughter. Unfortunately, we don't have any information on the Millennium era's Xilien home planet, and when they appear, they don't arrive in search of refuge from their home planet. Instead, they come to harvest the mitochondria from our own blood to eat. This likely isn't the first time they visited Earth either, as it's shown that Gigan had visited in the past with dirt on his outer skin dating to 12,000 years ago. This could even mean that the Xiliens created the Millennium era Gigan, as they were able to repair and upgrade him easily, yet this isn't definitive proof that they made him in the end. Yet this does lead us to M-base, a substance similar to DNA that the Xiliens, the mutants of Earth, and all of the Earth's kaiju except Godzilla have inside them. It would be this M-base that would allow the Xiliens to be able to control by mind most of the kaiju that they would encounter. In the Showa era, they came to help us and give us the cure for cancer, yet this time, they come with a warning to tell us about an approaching asteroid, one that will wipe out our planet if we don't accept their help to be able to destroy it. The reasoning is false, but the Gorath asteroid would be on its way, yet Godzilla was able to destroy it. This Gorath asteroid was obviously sent by the Xiliens themselves, as it would contain the evil Monster X. The tech of the Millennium Xiliens would far exceed that of their Showa iterations. Here they would have an army of aliens inside a massive mothership, one that could launch hundreds of other fighter ships. These smaller craft were maneuverable and had lasers that could even damage the Gotengo, a ship that tanked blasts from Godzilla himself. On top of that, the mothership would even have a force field around it, complete with an internal shield generator, and of course, we'd have to watch some good guy sacrifice himself and fly into it, taking it out like so many other space movies have done before. Yet above all of this Xilien tech was the power of the Kaisers. Rare, powerful M-base carriers that could harness amazing levels of power. The controller, X, was a Kaiser, as was Ozaki the mutant. Yet it was Ozaki's calmer approach to the Kaiser energy that would allow him to defeat X, giving him the opportunity needed to transfer his power into Godzilla, charging him up with enough juice to allow him to break free of Kaiser Ghidorah's grip. They could fire off energy blasts from their hands and use telekinetics. We even saw Ozaki stopping bullets in midair, a la Keanu Reeves in The Matrix. Yet this Kaiser mutation is very rare, and it's said to only appear in 1 in a million carriers of M-base. Curiously, the mutants on Earth are said to be the interbred ancestors of the Xiliens. So this would imply that not only have these aliens been visiting in the past, but that they've bred, or by means of experiments, created the mutants themselves. Yet an even bigger question to me is, why does Godzilla not have M-base, when all of the other kaiju do? Something I'll have to revisit in another video. The popularity of the Xiliens has led to other extended universe appearances as well, as they've shown up in various comics, along with a role in Godzilla Island, which you can find here on YouTube's own official Godzilla channel. Check it out if you haven't already. On a side note, it's also thought that the Xiliens are the inspiration for the Xif aliens from the Godzilla anime, who in some English materials are even called the Exiles or the Xiliens. So which version of the Xiliens are your favorite? It's so hard for me to choose. I'm a child of the Showa era, so I'll always love that look, but the new Xiliens and their over-the-top leader X have grown on me over the years. Do you think these guys created the Final Wars Gigan? If so, did they also make Monster X and Kaiser Ghidorah? I'd love to hear your thoughts and questions down below. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you next time.